Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to check in with you. Today is Tuesday, September 5th, and I am 1 week post gastric bypass surgery. Yes. So, let me give you just a little bit about my history, and I'm going to try to make a long story short. I've had knee problems for 20 plus years. I can't stand a long time. I can't sit a long time. I can't walk a long time. Like everything just hurts. Going up and down stairs are like nightmares. And so, I just kind of got tired of dealing with it. I am bone on bone, so I have no cartilage in my knees. Um, I'm diabetic. I actually would go back and forth between pre-diabetic and diabetic type 2. Um, and then I have high blood pressure that just creeped up on me within the last year. And so there were just so many things that led to this. But the one decision that led me to get the gastric bypass surgery is talking to my physician about my bilateral knee replacement. And so he was like, I can get you new knees. We can get you a knee replacement. Well, first of all, I'm 53 years old, and they didn't want to do it on me until I got a certain age. Anybody who knows anything about that, they don't prefer. I'm not gonna say they don't do it, but they don't prefer younger people. At least my physician didn't to get knee replacements because after a while you'll need it again, and so they rather do it with people. The best way I can put it is your life expectancy won't outlive the knee replacement. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to have to get it done twice in your lifetime. So if they feel like the knee replacement will outlive your life expectancy, then they're more apt to do it at a younger age. But anyway, all that to say. Um, so he says, I can get you your knee replacement, but it doesn't make sense to do that and you still have all this weight. Now, mind you, for many, many, many years, over 20 years, I've been dealing with my weight. I was a little skinny thing at first. But after babies and all of that, life just caught up with me, and I'm no longer a little skinny thing. I'm still short. That's the only thing that's a little. But I was actually, the day that I started this process, I was 256 pounds, and I am only 5'4". So that's a little heavy on my knees. And the doctor was like, if I can get you your new knees, but if your weight is still, high, there it just doesn't make sense because you'll wear those knees out real soon, and then you'll need another pair. And so we talked about different options, and then he asked me about gastric bypass, and I had thought about it in the beginning. I had thought about it several times over some years. I was always afraid, and I heard the process was so gruesome, and I just didn't want to deal with it, so I just didn't. And so, but when he said that to me, I was like, you know what? I think I'll give it a try because what I failed to mention is I have been dieting, exercising, fad eating, all kind of things over the years. And I would lose about 20, sometimes a little more. And then my body would just plateau. Like I couldn't lose anything else. I'm exercising, I'm still eating right. And in my body, it would just stop, literally. Or it would just go into creep mode. It would take me like 3 weeks to lose 1 pound or 2 pounds. And it's like, what in the world is going on? And so I just got sick of it. So then I would give up. And so this process has really taught me a lot because I knew that I couldn't do that. I couldn't fad diet. I couldn't, just binge and have whatever I wanted and think the next day I just will go on a diet for the next 2 or 3 days and I'd be fine. I know I couldn't do that. So this process actually, I had to go through some mental evaluations, which I really didn't realize how much of this is mental, but it really is. Um, I had to go through a lot of doctor visits, a lot of testing, a lot of dietitian visits, because they want to make sure that you are ready and prepared before this surgery. So, I did all of that and I got approved through the insurance. Everything is a go. So the start of the process is not actually the day of the surgery. Didn't know that until I was educated on it. The process starts 2 weeks prior to your surgery. you have to go on a liver shrinking diet. And that's basically just a couple of 2 or 3 protein shakes a day, and then you have 2 meals. And both of those meals can be 3 ounces of meat, 2 cups of greens, and a half a cup of vegetables every day. I did that for 2 weeks. It wasn't the worst. I got tired of it, but it wasn't the worst. I could season my food how I wanted, and everything was good. I did need to stay away from the sugar though. I could have Jello, like fat-free Jello, sugar-free Jello, and then sugar-free ice pops. And so the ice pops are good, even the sugar-free, because they have some sweetener in it. I guess it's an artificial sweetener, but it's not too much. So anyway, I did that for the 2 weeks, and at the beginning of those 2 weeks, I was 256 pounds. That's a lot because That's a lot because I'm only 5'4". So anyway, I did that for the 2 weeks, and my surgery was scheduled for August 29th, 2023. And the morning of my surgery, I weighed 249 pounds, 249.6 pounds, 249.6. And so from the time that the start of the diet or the liver shrinking diet, to the day of surgery, I had lost 6.4 pounds. That's great. I did that in 2 weeks. Not too bad. I didn't even exercise, as a matter of fact. I just watched what I was eating and stuck to the diet. Morning of the surgery, I arrive at the hospital, check in, go through all my paperwork, get everything done, get changed, go, and they roll me out for surgery. I'm not gonna make a long story short. I'm not gonna make a. I'm going to make a long story short. Um, so, all of that took place. I mean, the last thing I remember was this anesthesiologist. He says, I'm just going to give you something and to make you a little drowsy. I wasn't even in the operating room yet. I was still in the back, but I was dressed and ready. And he said, I'm just going to give you something a little, that make you a little sleepy, a little tired, actually, is what he said. And so I'm thinking, okay, because I have this thing about anesthesia. I like to try to fight it. You never win. No one ever wins. I don't even know why I do it. I think it's just a game for me. But so I was like, oh, okay, it's just gonna make me tired. I don't have to fight yet. I can fight tiredness. I really don't have to do anything with that. But it's when I get in the operating room, that's when I'm gonna be like, I'm fighting it. So, needless to say, that's all I can remember, because whatever he gave me to make me tired was it. When I woke up, I was in recovery. And the first thing I was like is, did it happen yet? What's this room? Why are all these people in here? Oh, I'm in recovery. Oh, yes, it did happen. Because that's when the pain kicked in. But, that whole process, I stayed in the hospital a little longer than what they expected because, I was just dealing with a lot of pain and cramping. Cramping was my number one issue. I just couldn't. The cramps, they were just, the doctor tried all kind of medicines. They were pumping me up with all kind of stuff, And we finally found one that was like, whoa. And when I think of the name of it, I'm going to tell you what it is. It was something my sister told me to try because my sister had this surgery some years ago. And so anyway, that whole hospital stay, I actually sat up sitting in a chair, just like I'm sitting up here in my bed right now. I slept that way the entire time because I couldn't lay down. I couldn't lay on my side. I couldn't lay on my back. I couldn't lay on, of course I couldn't lay on my stomach. No matter what I tried, I just could not. And so it was so uncomfortable. So sitting up straight in the chair with a heating pad on my stomach was my saving grace. And so anyway, I went home. I was on a Tuesday. I was home by Thursday evening. And so I have been on a full liquid diet since Tuesday after the surgery. And so I was hungry. I thought I was actually. I'm telling you, this is why I say it's you have to have your mind right because it's mind over matter. And the doctor, he said, you're not hungry. He said, those are just cramps. And I just associated pain in my stomach with being hungry. That's how uneducated I was to this process. And I was like, you're absolutely right, because as soon as I take a sip of anything, 2 to 3 sips, I'm done, because I'm on liquids. All I can do right now is just sip on liquids, and 2 to 3, I can't take no more. Like, it will literally start to hurt going down because my stomach is full. My stomach is only like this big now, okay? And so I can't take what I used to take. And right now they have me on a 2-week diet of full liquids. This is the end of my first week today, or the beginning of my second week today. Um, I have to drink 64 ounces of fluid. Uh, Half of that is clear liquids like water, Gatorade. It could be flavored water like Crystal Light. Nothing carbonated. Absolutely nothing carbonated. No caffeine. If I drink tea or coffee, it has to be decaf. I can have sugar-free ice pops. I can have chicken broth or beef broth, things of those natures. And then the other half of that is considered full liquids, where I have to drink 2 protein drinks, shakes a day, plus I think I can have yogurt, Greek yogurt, fat-free Greek yogurt. There are some other things, cream soup like cream of chicken soup and cream of mushroom soup. I can have that. I just have to make sure it's the healthy version, and I have to make sure that it doesn't have any chunks in it. So I have to take the chunks out. Um, it's going okay. I do have some cravings that I'm learning. This is why I said it's mental. I'm learning how to eat. I'm learning what's good for me and what's not good for me. I'm used to just picking up, if I see something on the counter and it looks good, I open it up and eat it. That's just how I've been. And I'm not saying that I won't ever be able to have a snack again a day in my life or anything of that nature. Like, I'm craving pizza right now, but it's not time for that right now. And when it is, I know how to use it in moderation. I know how to do it or eat it in moderation. And so this is really just teaching me a lot about my body, teaching me, it's actually growing my faith in God, because I was very prayerful about this situation. Because remember, I said in the beginning, I was very scared. Like, I don't know, I hear a lot of horror stories. But then I hear a lot of good stories. So I didn't know what to think, but I sought God's advice. I was very prayerful. I felt like I was at peace with it. I felt like the Lord would be with me. He promised He would take care of me, and He has done that every step of the way. I am slowly, I'm still taking all my meds. I don't have to take my cramping medicine as much anymore, but I'm still taking my meds, and I'm just getting through this process. I would like to have a snack. Like, I had to go grocery shopping the other day. My husband and my grandson went with me, and, just walking my grandson down the snack aisle was a little challenging. But I was very proud of myself, because I was like, ooh, that looked good. But nope, I can't have it. And I would just keep walking. Like, I'm learning to retrain my brain and to retrain my habits. And that is a huge part of the success of this surgery. And just taking care of yourself. I do have to walk quite often. I don't have to walk an extreme long distance and break a sweat and all of that. I usually just go a house or two down to the left, and then a house or two down to the right, and come back. I'll do that a couple of times. That they want you to walk because there's so much gas in your body. When they do the surgery, they have to blow you up with a lot of gas. And so after surgery, it's not like they can just let the gas out. That gas has to pass, and either it's going to come out from your top or come out from your bottom. And so usually the walking does help release the gas that's still trapped in my body. I think I'm just about over it. For me, it hasn't been a whole lot of bottom gas, but it's just been a lot of burping. So it's coming out through my top. So walking helps to release that. And I am struggling to get my 64 ounces in right now. I mean, I take 2 to 3 sips of something and I'm full. it would literally hurt to take an extra sip because there's nowhere for it to go. I gotta let it pass through my system first and then take another couple of sips. And so I'm learning to get my all of my nutrients in. I'm taking my vitamins every day. You know, I have to be on vitamins every day for the rest of my life. That's the one thing I have to get used to. Because I would do vitamins in fads. Like, you know, I would go through a vitamin period and then don't take them for 6 months and then I will and then I don't. So I'm learning to redo that again. And so it's been a process. The first week has been hard because I've resumed cooking. You know, I'm the only one in my house that can cook. I've resumed cooking. So while I'm frying chicken and making barbecue chicken and collard greens and potato salad and candy yams and macaroni and cheese, I just started back cooking. Let's see, my surgery was Tuesday. I started back cooking Saturday. I cooked Sunday. Then I cooked Monday. Today is Tuesday. I'll probably make something else tonight. You know, it's a little difficult when you're having to make all of that stuff and you can't taste it. You can't do anything with it. If you do, you will regret it. Your system does not agree. You cannot introduce that kind of food into your system right away. It takes a while. So I have one more week of this liquid diet, and then there's going to be, I believe, a 2-week period of pureed foods. Like everything has to be pureed. That's going to be interesting. Tune in for that. That is going to be really interesting because I just can't see me pureeing my meat. I might as well just buy baby food. So we're going to see. But I love applesauce. I hope applesauce is on that list. So anyway, I just wanted to check in and let you know if you're thinking about this surgery. I don't know what your higher power is, but for me, seeking God was my answer. And he promised that he would take care of me through this. And I encourage you to do the same. And it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So far, although it's been hard, it's the best decision I've ever made besides giving my life to Christ. It's the best decision I've ever made for my health. Okay? I love you guys. I am going to try my best to stay on track every Tuesday with a new video, and I might even chime in prior to that just to see what's going on. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.